This conference will now be recorded.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, right. Okay, yesterday we were discussing about Kerberos and all. Okay, maybe we will resume that from the next class, Kerberos in detail. So actually, I was not able to record that session, and finally I was not able to recover the recorded session. Maybe we will do the same thing again in the next class. Okay, but now we will check with the automated installation using Blueprint. Okay, so normally we were doing the installation using the graphical based method where you install Embody first, then go to the Embody UI and then continue the installation. So if you are doing in an automated way, or like when you are the works people are involved, so you can deploy it in an automated way. Okay, so the deployment is very easy. Only thing is you need to install and set up Embody first. Okay, so this one also you can do with the help of some of the automation tools like Ansible or Puppet or Chef or anything. Okay, so this can also be automated. So even AWS VM deployment also can be automated using Ansible or Puppet. Okay, we will keep it aside. And the next is, once Embody is installed, so you can do the installation with the Blueprint. Okay, so Embody Blueprint we call. Okay, it's a property that Embody provides where you can deploy the cluster easily with the help of couple of JSON files. Okay, see, so you need a JSON file for host mapping where you define host and host groups, like we have this much master, this much workers, etc. That we will define in the host mapping, and this file is in the JSON format. Okay, so JSON is similar to XML, or there are a lot of way where we can define or store the data in the file, and JSON is one of the form. And one is a host mapping. Second is like our cluster details. So this also we will define in a JSON file, and like on which host, which components. Okay, like on which components we are installing, all those details. And optionally, okay, we can have uh, some more files for repositories. Okay, for each repository we can have different files, like for HTTP we can have HTTP utils we can have. So this repo also, for this repo also we will be creating JSON file. So Embody Blueprint, okay, Embody Blueprint is nothing but the definition of cluster in JSON format. When we deploy the cluster, okay, now onwards, the latest version was showing like from the Embody window we can download that blueprint. Okay, so the download option is available. You can use that blueprint, or there are options to generate the blueprint. The same cluster, exactly the same thing, you can deploy using uh, blueprint. Only thing is the host mapping you have to define. I think Venkat left in between. Hello, Prashant, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, Eldo, what about you? You're able to hear, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I think Venkat left and joining. Maybe he's having some network issue. Okay, Prashant, okay, so like, yeah, I think everyone is back, right? The one Kerberos setup which we set up yesterday, I was not able to record it and recover that file back. So what we will do, so we will do the same thing in the next class, like that from the starting from the scratch, how to do the AD installation and configuration, and then set up Kerberos. But now I just move to another one, like blueprint based installation. Okay, so the blueprint is nothing but normally we do the installation like maybe the manual or even in the automated using Embody. Like first we will do installation and configuration of Embody using the normal yum installation and all those approach. Then from Embody web we use to deploy the cluster. But instead of using this approach, Embody web, there is another option that Hortonworks provides. So not Hortonworks, Embody provides. So that is called blueprint based installation. So blueprint are nothing but couple of JSON file that define the cluster. Like so mainly we will have a two file. One is a host mapping that will define what is our host name and where we are installing all those details. Like you may have a different host for different components. So that is the host mapping file. Second is like our cluster definition file. Okay, we call that file as a blueprint main blueprint file. And with these two files, maybe apart from this, we can have another optional files for repositories. Like if you're not adding this repository, then it will choose the default latest repos from internet. Okay, but if you want to use custom repository, you can define that as another JSON file. So basically we are defining our cluster in couple of JSON file and to use some REST API call. Mainly we will be using the curl command to deploy the cluster. First thing, okay, for doing this, first we need to set up and configure Embody. Then instead of doing the graphical way, we can use this blueprint based. First understand blueprint is nothing but the cluster we are defining into a JSON format. Okay, so there is a blog here. Okay, so that will we will just follow this blog and do a single node installation first.
So,
Okay,
quick thing, Sridhar. So,
sorry. Yeah.
quick one. So we did with Ansible, or did, if I remember correctly. So can we merge these two together? Ansible.
Yes. Actually, this is again we can add it as a pluggable thing. Like only the steps are same even if you are doing in the Ansible. So in Ansible, mainly we may need to use Ansible for this AWS instance deployment, then VM prerequisites configuration, and
Mhm.
installation and configuration of Embody. Then post to that, we will be using this REST API or Embody blueprint based for installation.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
yeah, we
combination
will.
of both basically, isn't it?
Yeah, we will do that. But if everything I do a single thing, so will be a
Okay.
bit complicated. But yeah,
Okay.
blueprint we will learn, and later we will integrate that with. Anyway, we'll have to do the Ansible based for Embody installation and configuration. That we will do.
All right. Thank you.
So okay, here okay. So there is a blog from Cloudera. I mean, so Hortonworks community, and the first thing they are doing is doing a single. Uh, 1 second. Like how to deploy a single node cluster using Embody blueprint. So we will just go and deploy one of the VM here. So maybe we will take. I think only thing is this Ansible host. Anyway, we have it available. So we will just change the instance size. Okay. Anyway, we need to have a T2 2x large. Okay. Okay, and this one Ansible or single. Okay, because we don't need to again go and deploy another machine. I just choose anyway, this is CentOS 7.4, so I can choose this one. Okay, this the one which we use for Ansible itself. Okay, I'm just going to install a single node HTTP here. Just go ahead and start the instances. I mean, only this single instance I'm going to start at this time. Okay, and we will go back to this blog. Okay, the first step is install and configure Embody server and agent. Okay, so we need to have Embody working state here. Then you need to do this agent configuration also. These two steps anyway we are going to do manually at this time. Later we can automate using Ansible. And next is we need to create this JSON files. Okay, so we will just copy this content, entire thing, and will let me just open a notepad and write it here. Okay, and again the syntax and all we can check later. So this is the blueprint name. So name of the blueprint, you can choose any name, but you should be in if there will be another file also where you need to name it correctly. I mean, if your blueprint is single node HTTP cluster, you use the same name on other file also. So default password, so this is the password for Embody. If you change that Embody admin password, you need to change. And again, under host group, actually this is an array, host groups. So under host group, we can have multiple groups, like a comma. If another host group, I can define that. But I'm just defining a host group, like since it's a single node available, I'm just writing that here. Okay, so we have only under the host group, so we have only one host available. Okay, till here we have. So this is the name of the host. So one is the host mapping JSON file. So I'm just saving as this name, save as, then go to the location, then go to HTTP, then create another directory, blueprint, then single node, and first file I'm just naming as hostmapping.json. You can use any name, but only thing is that name you should use in the commands that we use. Okay, so JSON, then the file name is host underscore mapping. Okay, this is the name I'm just using. Okay, and here I need to replace the host name with whatever the host name which I use. Okay, here they use in different name, that is fine. And the next file which I'm going to use, so this is actually okay, if you look here. Okay, so first is the configuration. So you can define if you want to choose some custom configuration, like say for example for HDFS you need to have this, and for other thing configuration you need to have this. So all the configuration you can define here, but since I am not adding anything, so it use the default configuration for all the components that we are installing. And under host groups, you can see for each host group what are the components I am going to install. Okay, and this is an array, and components in the sense like what are the components which I am using, like a name node and secondary name node, data node, then resource manager, all these things I'm installing here. And I think cardinality, that is just a number that comes under this host groups properties. And that's about the host groups. Like here, under here, we can have multiple hosts. Like under host group, so we can have multiple this kind of list for another group also. Maybe if we have a multi node installation involved. So we will see that later. Then for this time, so we have only one host group. So that is nothing but the name we have defined here, and on this host, it's going to install all these components. And next property is just like another section. So first is the host groups, and we define the components under that. Blueprints. So this is the name of the blueprint. Okay. So name of the blueprint we define here is single node HTTP cluster. Use the same name here, and the stack name HTTP and version 2.3. Whatever the version you need, you can choose that. So 2.3 or any latest version also, it's fine. But maybe the components that we choose may be slightly different for that. But okay, that is also fine. Okay, so these are the two files, and the host mapping and cluster configuration. I'm just going to save this as cluster.json. Okay, so that's it. And now let's connect here and do all the prerequisites like Embody installation. Just to connect here. Just IP address I need to change. Oh, I think that is a private. I need to choose the public one. Okay, choose next. Okay, so okay, we can use the same host name, or if you are just doing that custom host name, that is also fine. If using the same host name, so I need to replace that host name here. That's it. And I need to install Embody and to do all the prerequisites if required. Okay, so prerequisites I just added here. So what we need is so this information is not needed. VM swappiness, yes, I need to add it in. So all this VM swappiness adding in installing Embody and all we can do with the help of Ansible. And C Linux disabling, that is also we can do here. And NTP installation, these are the prerequisites that we need to do for Hadoop installation.
So did you prepare this new box, or was it already there? Because we had master server before, didn't we?
Yeah. Actually, this is a single node instance. Okay, so the one which we are going to do installation is a single node Hadoop installation.
This is a new box basically you prepared, yeah?
Yes, new box, but we use this for testing in Ansible. So
Right.
we don't have any HTTP or Embody components available here. We can say it's a brand new, but only thing is we use, deployed this instance some time back for Ansible test.
That's fine. Understand.
And once that is done, I think prerequisites and okay, PHP. Then what we need is we need to install Embody. So here itself they have the documentation. We will just follow that, and install. I think you will go to the main documentation page, then click on Embody, then installation, Embody installation. So go to this Embody repository. Okay, I think copy this. Okay, I don't know which version, Embody 2.7. Yeah, it's a 2.7 version of Embody. We will use that. Okay, just use wget. We don't have a wget. Just install the wget. The reason why we are installing wget is, so wget is used for downloading anything from internet. You can use wget and this command to download this .repo file. Okay, we have this Embody repo file. If you look here, so this is actually pointing to internet and getting our package. So I'm just copying this Embody.repo to etc yum.repos.d directory. Then next step, I'm going to install Embody server and agent yum-y Embody-server. So these two package I'm going to install. So you can see along with that, so some dependent Postgres and Postgres libs also getting installed. Okay, so that is done. So once this is done, we need to set up Embody. So what I will do, Embody server setup -s. So if I use -s, it will do in a silent way, like it will choose everything in the default, and I mean to say it's in a non-interactive mode. So normally it will ask from us to uh, input like whether to choose this one or that one, but instead of, if you use -s, so it will choose everything default. But again, if you want to do some customization along with that, so you can do like for using a different Java version, you can use -- Java version. All those customization you can do. The only thing is, if you are doing in a setup using any automated way, so you cannot do in an interactive mode, so where you have to define everything in a command line, and that command should not ask anything or any input from the user. That is the reason I just use -s option. Then Embody server start. Okay, then just open the file etc Embody agent conf Embody agent.ini. So here actually you need to replace this with the host name, but here local host is fine because we are running everything in the single host. In case of multi-node installation, you need to change that. That is optional, but still you have a option to change. Just we can go here, and this one we can change it. save it, then install Embody agent, start. Now if we just go to the portal and 8080, so you will get you should get this page. So that means Embody has completely done. Okay, so Embody installation has done and agent also done. So and also there is there are commands that we can use to list all the hosts. Okay, so we will just see curl mm, I think something like this. Okay, let's just try curl what is the host name. So in our case we can just write localhost 8080, then type
That's got HTTPS.
yeah, okay, HTTP only. See, you can see if it's registered, I mean host is Embody agent is running, you will get this host, all hosts. Like if you have multiple hosts, you will get that information using this option. Okay, I think yeah. Okay, yeah, this is enough. Okay, we will note down this, maybe later we need. So right now what we have is like so we have all the hosts, I mean whatever the host it's registered, it's listing. So we have installed Embody agent and Embody server and set up Embody. That's it. Now we will go ahead with this installation. Okay, so first we will just write this file, and also there is an option like if we are writing the JSON file, there will be a chance like the syntax, there may be some slight syntax may be incorrect or anything happen. So in that case what you need to do is just there is a JSON validator. You can do validate and make sure this is a valid JSON it's showing. Okay, then copy that and we will keep it here. So write vi host mapping.json, and to make sure, only thing we need to make sure like this is the host name and this is the initial password for Embody. If you're not changing the password, then we will write the second file, cluster details, and copy that content. With this also we will just go ahead and do the validation. Is also showing as a valid. save this file. Okay, host mapping. We'll just see this one. Okay, so these two files. Okay, host mapping. So we have got a host mapping.json and cluster detail. It's not cluster detail.sh. So these two JSON file. Okay, let me just okay. So I have kept these files under cluster detail and host mapping JSON files over there. The next I can continue the installation. The first I need to register. Okay, actually I need to register this cluster configuration file using this blueprint name. So first I need to know what is my blueprint name we have defined, so that we can get from this host mapping or cluster detail. So this is the blueprint name. Okay, and I need to use this command, curl command -h. This is just like a standard form way of doing uh, okay, standard way of doing this REST API call. I'll show you what all this means. So actually this is the method that we are using. This is just a help string. Okay, you can ignore this. Okay, that is fine. So this is the method. Like there will be a get or post. Get means we are just reading. So earlier command that we used for listing the host. So that was kind of guest. I mean the get command. Is that I think yeah, here itself, right? See, that is get. Okay, this is same -h requested by Embody. That is fine. And -x is the method that we use. So we can have get or post. So post is something like we are sending it to Embody. And -u admin, that is a credential. And this is the URL. Okay, so 8080. So till here. So this is my host name. Really, this should be my host name where my Embody server is running. And you can call this from any host. No need to be in the Embody server host. Since we are at this time we are executing from this, but only thing is at that time this should be accessible. And API v1 blueprints. What is the name of the blueprint we are going to register? So the blueprint name is single node Hadoop cluster and -d. And for the input we use @ symbol and write the host mapping file. Okay, this is what we have done here. Okay, so this step will register the blueprint with this Embody. The resource type. Oh, okay, it's not blueprint. It's showing as a blueprint. I don't know, maybe the version of Embody we are using might have changed the syntax. Okay, so this time instead of blueprints it's as blueprint only. Okay, we will note it down somewhere here. Okay, so first thing we have registered and host mapping. Next we need to trigger the installation. For triggering the installation we will use this command.
So do we know that did that command work?
Which one? Here.
This one, yeah. Is there any method we can get?
Getting option, I think yes, there is an option to list what are the blueprints registered. Let me show that. Yeah, this method, there is a get method that we can use, and what is the API v1 blueprints? Yeah, I think yeah. Mm, okay, this is okay. Maybe we will just finish the next command also and see. I think next command we'll see. So normally, if this command fails, definitely it shows the error. But here it's not. I mean, it's completed without any error. Okay, this command with the blueprint. So now we will just try to do the next, or I mean the triggering installation. So that once the triggering is done, we can go to this Embody and see that 8080 API v1 the clusters, and the name of the cluster we are going to add. So that name I can add as training. Okay, so here this is a post method, and admin is a credential, then http 8080 and API v1 clusters training. Okay, so this is a cluster name that we are going to build, and this is the URL, and -d, then what is the name of the cluster detail, and that we will just pass this to here. Mm, oh, okay. So now this is saying like the blueprint or the blueprint name or stack name specified in the, it's not supported for the resource type of this cluster. What I believe is like so we just use the lower version. So the version we just used is 2.3. Maybe I need to use the latest version because the Embody which we are using is the latest. So let me just try with the HTTP 3.0 and see. Mm, mm, the request or predicate are not supported for the resource type cluster. Okay, let's just see this option, how to override. Okay. I think I made a mistake here. So here I need to use, instead of host mapping, I need to use the cluster config, cluster detail. So this is actually our blueprint where we have defined the cluster. Resolve the host. Okay, so this one we used, and for the installation we will just use this option. Then training, -d host mapping.
I think first one didn't work, Sujesh, because it didn't give any. It just went silently. That command. You see what I mean?
Yes, but I think mainly this version specific issue. Maybe I need to choose some of the oldest HDP. Is a VDF. Oh, well, somebody will become the latest. So I think the problem is maybe the version. So we will just lower the somebody version and see. Mm, okay, and we will take this and just try.
I doubt that would be wrong because as we go, advance, right? These things
Yes.
should be supported more.
Actually, yeah,
At the but
compatibility should be there. Yeah. First, we need to register using the cluster configuration. Okay, that is fine. Okay, we will just try it again. Uh, what is the blueprint name? Okay, single node. This is a blueprint. Okay, and this is the command we need to use. And here we just need to choose that host name. Then what is the blueprint name? As something like this one, -d, then cluster config, cluster detail, type. Okay, so this is done. Now the next is this one, and cluster name is like a training or any maybe. Then host mapping, just a prefix at before this, and use the host name here and replace it here. Right, yeah, that's it. So maybe I don't know what mistake we made. So these are the commands we need to use.
I think
So this is
we were making mistake where we were writing blueprints. The single node SGP that was missing.
yeah, correct. And also the command, yeah, this get command should show the blueprint. Here it's showing. Earlier it was not showing, like, right?
Yeah.
So this is the command that we use for listing. Okay, I'll just note down this command. Uh, this is the command, and this is for triggering the installation. Host mapping command we use for triggering the installation, and to check or listing the blueprints available, we should use this one. Okay, now if I go to this Embody window, okay, where is my Embody? Get this public IP, and if you just see here 8080 and log in with the credential admin, you can see so this might be doing the installation and all the configuration in backend. Only thing is you have to wait some time until this is fine, and basically it do a single node installation, so you need not to go and click next to continue. It will be doing all those things in backend. You can see SAR are doing the installation. So this way, if you make a complete template, like so within a single script, what you can do is whenever you want to try the cluster, just execute, just wait for some time, and remove whenever you don't need. So that way you can reduce the cost a lot. Okay, and okay, so this will take some time. So the installation and all. So I think our definition file are correct. Okay, nothing wrong in this file, but only the thing is like we just did in an incorrect way. Earlier, instead of blueprints, we just use a blueprint or alone, and we need to use that. And the first, we need to pass a cluster detail, like what are the components, all those things. And while triggering, you need to use this host mapping file. So host mapping file you can use for triggering the installation, and to check the status, you can use this API v1 blueprints that will get the list of blueprint registered. So any question? Sorry, clear or okay? So two files are there mainly. one is the cluster configuration. So under cluster configuration, so we haven't defined the configuration, but if you take the blueprint from an existing cluster, you can see a lot of options under configuration. Second is the host groups. And under host group we can define different groups and define the components we need to install over there. And another thing is like I think I don't know which version we install here. We will just see second version. Yeah, it's a 3.010. You can choose a version from here. And for another file is a host group. This is just as simple like one group, and we are defining what are the group host. So in a single group itself, we can define the multiple hosts, like just comma separated, and use this way. Like say for example, in a worker host and all, you can have only I mean the single host group for all the workers where we are installing the same components. That is a host group, and host we can add it here. Well, I'll share this file and also just this one. So this is clear. Okay. I think it's almost done. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to terminate this one. I don't need this instance. Okay, and all this host also I'm going to terminate, because if I keep this for long, and the costing will be high. So terminated. And also while checking, you need to make sure like all the disk VM disk is also cleaned. Just to go here, volumes, click here, and nothing is there. Okay, even if you delete, sometimes the volume exists, and in that case, so you need to take that away. And the security group and key pair doesn't cost you, but the disk and running instance will cost. Now once that is done, we will go next with the multi-node installation. Maybe with 2 or 3 node we will set up. And 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is here we are doing with a 3 node setup. Okay, so we will do deploy that. How many nodes they are using? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we will just take 3 hosts and do the same setup. With the same AMI, we will just use.
Discover a new AMI, because I've been using this one for a long time.
Yeah. And yeah, T2 large. Okay.
And you know what? I think these large ones, as you rightly said, I terminated my instances in what? In February, March, and then I was keep getting bill for almost 160 pounds, which is like $200. I thought
Oh.
I had terminated it. My missus
Mm.
told me a few times. I didn't pay too much attention. But 2 days ago, she said I received again, and it's all charging since last 4 months. Then as 2 days ago, when I looked at it, it was all 7 volumes sitting there and keep charging money.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. To avoid that, always choose this option.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think
And
I did not choose that one.
yeah, because also sometimes you need to make sure like keep because these bills are very. I mean, they are all charging like even if you keep it. But only thing is, so this $200 they may give it back to you because you can tell, okay, I was not using and I was not aware, and if you email them, they
Yeah,
will give this money back. So
really.
that support is good. Yeah, I got actually for me, I was using Redshift DB for a long time.
Hmm.
Actually, 3 months it was free. Then after that, I forgot to terminate for 1 month, and
Oh,
it was around 300 or $400 bill came.
oh
Then I
wow.
told, okay, it was by mistake, and this is what happened. Then they said, okay, I'm not sure. Like I will check with the backend team. Then she said, okay, what you're saying is correct. You are not using it, but we will give you the money back.
Oh, that's a very very good tip. I will absolutely go and reclaim that.
Yeah, at that time, I think they don't have, they were main operations and all those things data center in US.
Hmm.
So I think 4 or 5 years back, I don't know now they have, but the way of support, I don't know if they started in India, they, I don't know whether they will give the money back.
I will check. There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
trying.
yeah, nothing wrong because you are effectively, you are not using anything, right?
No,
And
not
also
really.
it's because of mistake.
Yes, absolutely.
Uh, so they should give the money back because we are keep using this for them. Okay, even if they give it back, so they are retaining a customer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just going to deploy 3 instances. Just choose that. That's it. So if you have any, I mean, the script ready, so you need not to keep the instances here. Like, so keep a very good script and this one template. Okay, blueprint template. So whenever you need, you can quickly deploy and test that. Only thing is just you need to wait 10-15 minutes. Then by that time the cluster will be ready. But if you are keeping it for quite long time, so again, there even if your machine is turned off, so like the disk charge, then if it's a private IP, that charge, and so additional overhead cost will be there. So host 1, host 2, then or else we will just say master 1, master 2, and master 3. So these are the 3 hosts which I am going to do. So I'll just log into the first host. Then what about master 2? So this is IP address, and here I already have this I mean configuration saved. That is why I'm just loading and changing my IP address. And master 3, just copy this and load that. That's it. Just log into the master 1. So we will do the same set of configuration that we have done earlier, but this time if you need we can just change the host name. Okay, So I'm just going to change my host name, master1, and I have to add remaining prerequisites, like if its firewall is there. So these are all the prerequisites that we normally do. And I think let me just open everything and do one by one. Then
Oh, I think
third one,
you should use MOBA.
yeah,
Remember,
MOBA
we did
extreme.
talk about it before.
Yeah, MOBA extreme. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. I really like it.
Okay, I think we can save this detail also over there, right?
Yeah.
Master 1 and this one to master 2 and the last one to master 3, and I need to update the etc host. Okay, what is the IP address here? So this is the private IP address because I used a custom hostname, that is why I need to update etc host. Okay, and so and for the second host, the host name is master2, but the IP address is 172.30.117.0. Okay, that is also we will add here. Then the host name is master2.com and it's a master2. And for the third one, what is the host name? This is the host name and it's a master3 dot, right. So we'll have to do the same thing or update the same across all the hosts. Save it and go to the second host, come to the end, just add it, save it, and go to the last one, right. So from the every host to the other host, ping or I mean the ping should work. Then what we'll do, just update sysctl.conf. Okay, vi/etc sysctl.conf. So the same thing here also. Okay. Okay, and I need to add this entry over there. Okay, so that is done, and SC Linux disabling, that is fine, is also done. So next step, we need to install Embody server and agent over there, and yeah, we will choose the same repository over here and go to etc. I think the thing we need to do is yum install wget, sorry, -y, because the wget is a very useful utility, and if you don't have internet access, then no need to install here, but you can download it locally and transfer it using WinSCP or any utility. Okay, I went to mrepos.t and downloading this yum repository, and on the first host Embody server, Embody agent, and go to the second host. Here also etc yum.repos.t, use wget to download that Embody repo and use yum install Embody agent. Then back to the third one, go to etc yum.repos.t wget this Embody.repo yum -y install Embody agent. Okay, and now here I can do a setup. Embody-server setup -s. So by that time, so we will edit etc Embody agent conf Embody agent.ini. So here I need to change this local host with master1.hadoop.com. So that is a host where we have a Embody server running. Here also open the same file etc Embody agent conf Embody agent.ini and replace this local host with master1.hadoop.com. Okay, and take the last host etc Embody agent conf Embody agent.ini. Here also right master1 dot so systemctl enable Embody agent, so that I need to start this service whenever my system reboot. Embody server also. So now let's just restart all these three and continue. Let me just reboot, because I need to update all these host name changes and all, so that you can do a fresh installation after reboot. Okay, so what we have done is just did the Embody installation and configuration. Now we will continue with our repo, I mean our installation using this one. Okay, so this is a part 2. Here only the difference is, so we have a different host group. So default password, then Okay, we will take this into a file. And blueprint name multi-node HTTP. This is fine for us. And the default password is admin only, not password. Okay, we are not going to change the password. And all the host and host group and host. Okay, so I think here on 3 or 4 different host groups has created. Let me just write it as a host group 1 2 1 2 3 and all. This is 2, and I just need the 3 host groups, and here my host name is master1.hadoop.com. Then master2.hadoop.com. Then master3. Okay, so I just changed. Okay, only the host group means why we are grouping means under the group itself we can have a different host. I mean multiple hosts listed here. Only the problem is we are just assigning the list of components based on the host group. Say for example, I'm just adding master component only on one host, and the remaining all the hosts I'm installing the same template or same component. So I can just need only another host group. Let's just take this and add it in the JSON lint and make sure like the syntax is correct and reformat. Just validate JSON. Yes, this is showing us valid JSON. Just Control A, Control C, and add it here. Okay, so under host group we have 3 host group, host 1 2 3, and each one have a different host, master 1 2 3. I'm just saving here. Under training, then HTTP blueprint, just creating as a multi-node. Okay, then this file type I'm just changing to JSON, then write the name as host mapping. Okay, another file I need is the cluster configuration. That is also we will copy from here. Sorry, this is a cluster configuration. So this also we need to format, and first we will just take this and add it into JSON lint, and so that you will get a better formatted view. Validate. Okay, this is fine. Just take this out, Control C, and add it here. So what is the version you need? Okay, so I just need a 3.0, and the blueprint name is fine. And here you can see under host group section you have a different host groups. Okay, like this is for host 2. Under host 2 we are doing this much, and under host 3 we are doing this much components, and under host 4 we are using this much component. Okay, on each and every host group we are using different components. That is why we use 3 different host group. Otherwise, say for example, I just need the name node and all these things in a one host, and the remaining all the host or same component. In that case, I need another second host group alone. So we just changed as host 1, that is the host group, first group host group, then host 2, second host group, and host 3, third host group. That's it. Okay, so just to save it as cluster underscore config, and file type use JSON. Save it. And another option we can have is so we can use the custom repository location. That is also we can use for custom repository for HTTP and HTTP utility. That is also we can define in the JSON. But right now we are using the internet-based repository, so no need to use that here. So basically that is also another option available. You can customize with the help of JSON. So first we need to copy these files to this cluster. Just see. Okay, first we will just check the host name, whether it's listing all the host. So it's sorry, the same name only, master1.hadoop.com. It should list all the host. So that means Embody agent is running and communicating with the server. So otherwise it should not show all these hosts. Okay, so this is also effective, very effective command. Before doing that, you can just test what are the hosts available. Okay, and now I'm just creating a directory called blueprints, and first host mapping JSON file I'm creating. Then from my host mapping file, I'm just copying the complete contents over here and adding it. Okay, so the default password is admin and blueprint. Okay, so actually, sorry, this is not a password for Embody. So this is the password that we set for any services where password is involved. So for example, Hive, Metastore, some password is involved. So that you can change. Okay, so not Embody password that we are passing along with the curl command. And another is cluster config. So get this file cluster config and add it here. Just save it. Now, so we need to register this cluster config, that is a blueprint. So we use the command first. Yeah, this is the command, and a blueprint name also you need to have multi-node HTTP and -d. So this is as usual, like X, just X is this is the post, and this is just like a help string or something, and this is the credential, and here you need to have your Embody detail, like master1.hadoop.com and API v1 blueprints, and this is the name of the blueprint, and that file cluster.conf, and before that just a prefix and at symbol. Okay, so this is about host1. The component hcat in host1 is not valid for specified stack. Actually, we need to modify and remove hcat log hcat. Okay, just to do that. For the host one, where is hcat? Yeah, this one should be removed thing. So we will just use and right, save it and do execute the same. Flume handler. Okay, because a lot of changes happen from that version to this. So I will just see that Flume handler. That is also done. Oops. Webcat server. What is that name? Webcat server. Or a better option, I think we will change the stack version to lower, because a lot of components are 2.3. Will this accept? I don't know. We will see that. Okay. If I choose that, this is saying this is needed. So what we need is like just add the content again.
Can't we take HBase out completely?
So that is also we can do.
Okay.
Yeah. Or else what I did is I'm just trying the lower version. I mean 2.3 version and see instead of this version 3, let's just try the 2.3 version, which they tried. But, okay, that is working fine. But maybe the latest version has this components has changed. Okay, we'll choose that. And now I need to check whether these blueprints are available. We'll just see from here how to list the blueprint. So this one has to be replaced with the master.hadoop.com, master1.hadoop.com. Yes, this is listing the blueprint. So that means the blueprint has registered properly. Okay, so I will just making a note of this command. Okay, and next we can see start the installation. So and after that, so this HTTP and HTTP util repository we can add. Okay, but we are not using that. We are using the internet based repository. Next we use the curl command and do the host mapping and trigger the installation. Here we use clusters, and what is the cluster name we need to use? Training underscore multi or whatever it may be. So this is the name of the cluster, and -d, what is the host mapping file, and before that just prefix I, and need to replace these values like So master1.hadoop.com. Okay, what we will do, we will take out most of the components and keep very minimal. Okay. We'll do it from here. Kafka history server OC HBase name node. I don't need. I think there is something like a MySQL also that we need to add. I tried that some time back, and let me just see here. Uh, I think this is with the minimal component. We will just see this one. Because most of the components have taken out, and host 1, host 2, host 3, very minimal component. So I'll have to redo that stuff. So this registration I need to do again. Think we may need to deregister. How to blueprint name is multi-node, and that we need to delete and then re-add. And this is the local host is also fine. In our case, it's master one dot. So where is the oops, B multi-node, right? So now that is removed. So now if it's a list, yeah. Now Now if you list this list the blueprints, so that will not show here. We just take out the command that we used for deleting. Yeah. Now if you list the blueprint, now it's not showing. Okay, so basically we just use the delete. I'm just adding this. So what I'm going to do here is, again I need to register this multi-node blueprint. Okay, so this is the one, and doing it. Uh, invalid service
Not right.
component. Sorry.
How synchronization not valid?
Yeah. OC server. Okay. I think OC is taken out, and only the OC client is there. That is the reason. Maybe it's okay. I've taken the OC client. Then again, I may need to delete. Okay, so this time it's registered, and it's properly done. And what I'm going to do here is, now we can trigger the installation using the second line, like this one, and the cluster name training underscore multi, then -d host mapping, just a prefix at before this, and use the host name as master1 dot. I don't know, a lot of I think this is fine. So this file and this file, and now this is accepted. Now if we look into this master1 console and go to the just copy this, then type admin, you can see. So this has started installation, and if we just check the host, you can see different components are distributed to different hosts. So basically we need to have a host file, and Okay, I'm just changing this host mapping, and I think the host mapping is same. Only the cluster config file we have changed here, and we'll take that out. Oops. I will have to use with an WinSCP or some tool to get that file. Okay, let me just use WinSCP and use the host name, then use CentOS advanced authentication, use the ppk file, open, connect. Okay, it's not under /home. Okay, where this file is located, it's under root. So I just need to copy this to /home CentOS. Okay, from here, if I just do a refresh, it should be visible. I need to copy this file or just download to uh, somewhere in our location, the computer, and go to the disk. So we have a training directory, and go to HTTP blueprint multi-node. Let's download, override yes to all. Okay, so I've copied that, so we can use that for testing. And the installation, like I said, normally it takes some time, so it's all doing in an automated way. We need not to wait. So apart from this, whatever the manual task we did, so that is also we can automate using this blueprint and some configuration management tool. So any question here? And this link is very good. So we have different option for multi-node, custom repository with HA and with Kerberos, and all those things are available. So I think the first one, I'll give you all these steps. I'm just saving it somewhere, and we'll share you. Okay, so if no questions, then we will wind up for now. We'll continue tomorrow.
Next week.
I mean next week. Yeah.
Okay. Can you
Yeah.
send me these notes? I think we did
Right.
talk.
I'll send. I'll attach right away and send to you 3.
And one more thing, those videos which we talked about, I think I didn't. I think you need to go to every video to give me the permission.
Okay, I'll check these 2 things right away.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And
Right.
one thing for everyone, I thought just to share this one, the crazyadmins.com, where we are getting this one, the website I'm talking about.
Which one?
Crazyadmins.com, the website. That is quite good one because that is maintained by Kuldeep Kulkarni, who is senior resource in SDP.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at that one, and
This
his
one?
yeah, because I have used in past several times. And secondly, he has got his GitHub, and in GitHub you get all sort of things. So if you see, he has got a lot of scripts, useful scripts.
Okay.
And it's
I
very
think.
good. And he has got his repository, and scripts are, a lot of scripts sitting there.
Okay. This looks good.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He has contributed to the community a lot. But again, it's just a quick thought I thought to share.
Okay. Yeah, complete custom little automated installation, semi-automated. Right. Yeah, good one.
Okay.
So we will wind up for now. Maybe we'll see next week.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, right.